Hi everybody, my name is Bjorn Barrett and you're watching the EdListen channel. Today I want to cover how to create an assignment in Google Classroom. Without further ado, let's kind of make this, shrink me up here, and we're going to go into my little EdListen example here. And the first thing you want to note is you can actually hit the little plus button down here. So this button right there, you want to start off with. And that's going to be creating any assignment. And all assignments do show up as basically blog posts. The new ones are at the top and the bottom. When you press this, there are several different options. You can either repost, create a question, create an assignment, or even create an announcement. I'm going to start with just creating an announcement. This is going to be, it's just an announcement. I mean, that's pretty simple with it is. But there are some similarities between all of these. So that's the announcement. There's the assignment. It's going to look very familiar. There's the question in there. So I'm going to go back to the assignment. A couple of things that are going to be universally the same. And I don't actually want to go to red. I'll go to red. For class and which students, you're going to have the ability to add a topic. And then you're going to have the ability to add different attachments. Are all going to be quite universal. And that's why announcement is pretty good. And then you can have share with the class. Everything else is going to be kind of added on top of that. So first of all, this, for example, oops, clear that. And let's just close my little example here. You can choose which classes it goes to. So if you want to post to multiple classes, go right ahead. You kind of pull that down and you choose which classes you are. If you want to go the other direction and be a little bit more granular about things, you can specify which students are in there. I only have one student in here, but so you can post it to several different students, 3 students in the class, or however you want to do that. You can share with the class, and I will be out tomorrow. Please listen to your sub. Yeah, like that always works out very well when they listen to their subs. But I'm gonna, oops, I even misspelled tomorrow. So I'm gonna right click on that and fix the spelling. So now that I'm in here, the next thing is choosing a topic. And this is optional. But what's really nice about the topics is it allows you to take anything related to, let's say, a specific unit and specify the unit or a certain topic. So maybe you're broke up in your classes as like daily assignments and weekly assignments. So maybe this is one of the daily assignment ones. And you can create a new topic and so this one's going to be related to the daily journal. And I'm just going to click off of it. You can add attachments. The paperclip is going to be for attaching any file from your drive, from your physical computer drive. This might be a PDF or probably a PDF, maybe an image file. Yep, probably an image file would be falling under that. The triangle. The triangle is very important here. Right here. The triangle you'll see in email and you'll see all those other things, and I don't think it gets used well enough. The triangle is any Google Drive document, and there's a big difference between using the paperclip attachment and using the Google Drive attachment. If it's coming from Drive, use the little triangle Drive attachment. If it's coming from anywhere else physically on your computer, use that. If you have that Google sync turned on and you try and use the paperclip, what will happen is it'll insert a G Suite file that nobody can open because it's not a real file. So definitely use the triangle. The next one over is YouTube. Right here is YouTube. And this last one is just a link to any file, any website. Are those. Also looking in here, you have the post button. So I can either post it right away, or they also have something where you can post it, schedule it, or create a draft. So if you're creating pre-creating a lot of assignments or pre-creating a lot of announcements, you can save it as a draft. Oops, guess that's not going to work. So save it as a draft, and I'll show you where you can get that back. So you can get that back up top. It says save post. So you put that down, and here's my little post that I was saving as a draft. Now I'm back up there, and I can post to it. The other one is schedule. This is kind of neat where you can say, well, I want this to go out Friday, or I want this to go out at the end of the day. So you can just change the time to, 3 p.m. 3 p.m. and schedule it. And now that post will go out at the end of the day and not exactly when you're working on it during your prep period. So again, very helpful, those two items. The next thing is, I'm going to say, create an assignment. This is where you probably spend most of your time in Google Classroom, because it's really what Google Classroom is about. Again, specify what class you want to go to, specify what students you want to go to. It has a topic that you can put on there. Again, attachments. And I'll kind of go over the attachments in a second, because there is a really good thing. This one has a title and it has instructions. Title, this can be worksheet. Please complete this during class when you have the sub. So this could be some in-class work that they have while they have a sub, which is kind of a new kind of concept. The other one is due date. Due date's very important. Due date is a nag screen. If you don't have a due date, or you're not going to, or you're just going to kind of not adhere to it, for lack of a better way of saying it, don't put a due date, because what you want to do is, if there is a due date, you put it in here and you kind of say it's due the 20th, and we can even say the time. I mean, let's, 3 o'clock p.m. So now it has a time, and I click assign. What it does for the student, and let's see, is right up in the top corner here. I'm not opening up the student, not in this video, but right up in the top corner here, it will give this really high, things that are past the due date. So for the student, there is a bit of a nag screen that they put on if for assignments that are past due. And it really is a nice trigger that if teachers really truly want that to be a nag screen saying they have past due work, when they see that, they need to adhere to those settings and really stay on students for doing it. So I'm going to close that back up. I'm going to go back into my assignment, because I scheduled that one, but there's another part of this assignment that I want to highlight. So, I scheduled that one. So one of the things is I did post that thing. We'll be out to test assignment, or maybe I didn't. So I'm going to create the assignment and, complete, complete the worksheet. Complete the worksheet. Now, here's the cool thing. Google Classroom can take a worksheet template. And I click the Google Drive and hide that a little bit more. And I'm going to click just one of these. It really doesn't matter which one it is. Actually, what was the other one there? Recent. Well, here's the template. So this is the one template I had. It's nothing fancy, but so I have that there, and this is absolutely important. Clear that. Make that a little clearer right there. Okay, that pull down. If you assign it, you can actually go back into things you've assigned and re-edit them if you've made a mistake, with one exception. And this is why this is important. If you pull this down, you'll notice that students can either view the file, pretty self-explanatory, good way to put out instructions per se, for something that they're not going to hand in. Students can edit the file. I would probably use that for spreadsheets or something that they all need to collectively input data to it. Or make a copy for each student. This is a really powerful little tool, but you can't do it if you've already posted the assignment. So if you put it up there and you say students can view and you click assign, no. You have to go down through and you'll have to repost the assignment and then change it that way. So be careful and make sure you set that anytime you add a Google Doc to each one. When you make a copy for each student, every student gets their own version of that template, and they can fill it out, and it's only between you and between the student and you as the teacher. So I'm going to click assignment, which is neat. Okay. And you can see when you create an assignment, it tells you how many people have done it and how many people haven't done it. And I will go over in another video both how a student would post and also how a teacher might grade. So now that I've posted the assignment, let's go back. So we did assignment. Now there's a question. Again, it looks kind of familiar, but you have the question, what's the weather outside? Really not that fancy of a question. No due date, and you can do short answer or you can do multiple choice, and it's cold, hot, perfect temperature. And you can say students can either see the summary or not see the summary. You can add or delete those files as you wish. So again, it's a really good way to get very quick feedback. If you're doing a full test, this is not the tool for it. This is instant feedback within the class. Who's going to, I don't know, the field trip. So go ahead and ask, and then that'll come up. If you want a more detailed test, you want to use Google's forms. And I'll explain that again in another video. There's going to be a lot of videos. The last one is Repost, and this is a powerful tool. I'm so happy they put this in here. When you're done with classes, you want to archive them. That way they're there, but they're not the ones you're seeing. The way you can reuse, and a lot of times you want to reuse the posts from those archived, you do that through here. So you're going to click Repost. It's going to bring up all the classes. It's going to bring up some maybe of your archived classes, or if you want to repost even within your own thing. So you can click on here. Add, if I hit back up here. Oh, there you go. So I can select what classes I have. So I'm going to go, here's an archived one that I've had that apparently had no posts. Welcome to using. So there's new class one here is there. And here's the EdListen example. And you can see it has all these posts. So if I want to go back through and here's the example assignment, I'm going to reuse that. It's going to pop up. And I'm back to that familiar assignment post. So something definitely worth taking a look at, definitely worth using. I encourage you to create assignments within here. So I think that's going to be it. So I want to say thank you very much for listening and never stop learning.